What is going on, Tentacrew? My name is Billy the Squid, and welcome to the Ultimate S Rank Guide for Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Today we are going to be diving into the Chapter 3 missions all the way up to the Ice Worm boss fight, and tell you exactly how to get those juicy S ranks for your Platinum Trophy. So, let's get into it. Armored Core 6 takes into account 4 different statistics when determining if you've earned an S rank in each of their missions. Those stats being the health that you use and the health repair cost at the end, the ammo you use and the ammo cost at the end, the amount of time that it takes for you to complete each one of these missions, and sometimes it takes into account the bonus mission objectives as well. It is also implied for each of these S ranks that you do not die during any of the missions. If you do die, you will have to start the mission over from the beginning. And the final thing to mention when going for each of these S ranks is that getting resupplied at Sherpas does not affect your S rank, nor does using your health kits. It is purely the amount of repair cost at the end, which takes into account the total health that you lost through that mission. Today's guide is going to tell you exactly which stats are most important for each missions, and with all of the basics out of the way, let's move into Mission 1. So Chapter 3 Mission 1 is Steal the Survey Data. This one takes into account most the speed that you get the mission done, as well as meeting the bonus objectives of the mission, which is extra reward based on number of enemies killed. My mission time was 6 minutes and 11 seconds, and as you can see, my repair costs and ammo costs were kind of high for this kind of a mission, and I still got the S rank. This is due to the fact that there is a pretty difficult fight at the end of this mission, so as such, I spared no expense. I took dual Zimmermans, a songbird on my shoulder, and a melee weapon to go in tow. When the mission begins, I would prioritize going to the rightmost survey spot first, then going to the center one, and then the up top one. This will give you the fastest route through the mission, as well as setting you up for the closest entrance to the final fight of the mission from that last point. As you're flying there, you can pick off 1 or 2 of these guys from the road, but once you get to the camp, I do recommend clearing out the entire camp, as you'll be needing a lot of kills to be able to get that bonus objective high enough for the S rank of this mission. Once the camp is cleared, go ahead and scan the survey beacon, and you can use it as a little bit of cover so that the people coming down from the road, if you didn't take them out, can't hit you as easily. Go down to the middle survey beacon and do the same thing. There's only 1 mech down here. Take him out and then use the cover of the survey beacon itself to prevent the helicopter fire. Hopping up on top, do the exact same thing. You can pretty well ignore each and every one of the mechs around this area. Grab that 3rd survey beacon and move forward up the road. As you're going up the road, I would take out these 4 mechs and the artillery cannons up the installation. These will give you some juicy creds towards that bonus objective. And then move up towards your last survey beacon. Once you get this last beacon, they are going to bring in the resupply. If you're quick enough on the draw, you can actually destroy these helicopters before they're able to drop off the ACs, making this fight a bit more manageable. But if you don't, they're not that difficult to take out, and I would take them out as quickly as possible, as they will be bringing in a quad leg mech in to fight you. This fight goes about as easily as all of the other quad legs, double Zimmerman blast and songbirds, and then finish them off whenever they're staggered. Once you get this fight out of the way, go up past the windmills and get your resupply. This will trigger the final stage of the mission. Do not engage with any of the MTs that are in this area. Immediately go up and to the right on top of this mountain face and wait for the ship to come through and wipe all of them out. The fun thing about this is even if you don't take them out, you still get credit for the destruction, so thank you very much. Dodge the laser and missile fire, and this will put you in the prime position to take out the first of the troops that get dropped off. Once you take him out, there should be a grouping of 3 mechs down below. If you hit your songbird on the middle one, you can actually take out all 3 with a single volley of songbird blasts. At the first opportunity you get, hit him with a double songbird blast. This should destroy his shield and make this fight significantly easier. Once that's done, all you have to do is close the distance, double blast him with the Zimmermans, and take advantage of him in stagger by hitting him with your melee weapon. And at that point, all you have to do is wait for the ship to come through, run over and destroy it, and that should be mission over and another easy S rank. Chapter 3 Mission 2 is Attack the Refueling Base, and this one's interesting. It factors in time, health, and the amount of tanks that you get destroyed. It will factor in enemies for the bonus mission as well, but the fuel tank storage is the primary thing. My mission time was 4 minutes and 25 seconds, and I did destroy every one of the storage tanks along this mission. For equipment, I brought dual Zimmermans, a Songbird, and the Laser Sword, as it will help with both clearing out the fuel tanks as well as the boss fight at the end. Once the mission starts out, immediately assault boost forward. As I said at the beginning, most of the enemies in this mission do not factor that heavily into the bonus objective, and the tanks are the primary concern. There is one exception to this that I will note whenever he arrives, but up until then, just beeline straight up into the left once you get into the camp to the first set of tanks. The trick with the laser sword is if you aim down at the ground, the sweep will actually take out both of the tanks whenever they're in close proximity to each other. This will cost a little bit of extra time, but it will save you on ammo in the long run. Once you take out these first set of tanks, this is the only MT that actually factors in to the bonus objective for this mission, as he is kind of a mid-boss style MT. He's another one of the dudes with the shields from the first mission, so if you can hit a double Songbird blast directly onto his shield, then it should break it. If not, the double Songbird should be enough to stagger him, and you can run up and either double Zimmerman blast him or use your laser sword fully charged to get a double hit. Be careful with this, as sometimes the laser sword's a little bit finicky and you'll actually swing up above enemies as you're trying to hit them. After this fight, swing underneath the bridge and then assault boost directly over to the jump pad on the back right portion of the bridge. Once you get to the top of here, assault boost forward so that you do not get hit by the flak cannons, and move on to your next set of tanks. They are up and to the left, and you're going to use the same laser sword trick that you used on the first set of tanks to quickly and efficiently take these ones down as well. Once that's done, immediately jump down into the left, and there will be two more hidden tanks back here. These ones are easy to miss, so don't forget about them. And once you complete that, go ahead and assault boost forward towards the mech on the top of the tower with the laser rifle. He is guarding the last 6 tanks, and for these ones here, you're actually going to want to use a fully charged laser sword swing to be able to cleave through all of them. Once that is finished, there will be one more gentleman with a laser rifle. Go ahead and take him out on a drive-by, and then there will be a pair of launch pads that you can use to get up to the final encampment. Don't forget to grab your resupply before you go in there, as it is not factored towards the S rank, so there's no reason not to take it. Assault boosting up into the complex, go ahead and take out each and every one of these guys. You don't have to take them out to be able to go into the building and destroy stuff, but it will make it so that the boss fight is much harder with all of these guys around afterwards. Once that is done, fly in and laser sword down the generator and prepare yourself for the boss fight. As soon as the boss fight starts, one of these gentlemen will come at you with the laser lance, but if you back up, you should actually be able to get him in perfect range for either an assault boost blast or a double Zimmerman shotgun blast. Both of these should fully stagger him, at which case pull out your laser sword and do a fully charged double swing. After that, it is a 1v1. Try to hit the next mech with your Songbirds to get an instant stagger. Run up, double Zimmerman blast them while they're staggered, and then pull out the laser sword to finish them off. If they have any health left, 1 or 2 more Zimmerman blasts should get the job done, and you should have your S rank. Congrats. Mission 3 of Chapter 3, Eliminate V VII Swinburne of the Vespers. This is a stealth mission in an Armored Core game, and as such, I highly recommend you bring in a quad mech for the strat that I am about to tell you. I would also recommend bringing in double Zimmermans, the Songbirds, and the Pile Bunker melee weapon, as there is going to be a boss fight at the end. This should be a quick and dirty mission, with me only taking 2 minutes and 27 seconds for my S-rank mission run, and the biggest factors in this being the repair cost, as you're not going to be fighting a lot, so ammo costs are going to be fairly low with the exception of what you spend on the boss fight. At the start of the mission, immediately assault boost up and to the left, and keep going until you hit the upper area limit reached. This is going to put you in ideal range to avoid everything that's below you. Go ahead and put the quad mech into hover mode at this point and just skirt the barrier of the level until you get all the way across. On the off chance that you do get detected, if it's a ground mech, just keep cruising. You'll eventually break their line of sight anyway. If it is one of the aerial mechs, go ahead and hit them with the Songbirds, as they will detect you if you stay in their vision for too long, so you want to take them out quickly. Maneuver all the way around the arena until you get to the scan location. Find out that Swinburne is not there, and you'll see the explosion off in the distance. Assault boost over there and get ready for the boss fight. you will be able to get the jump on them. So open up with the Songbirds and then jump in with the Zimmermans to try to get that initial stagger off. There is a way to do this fight a lot quicker than the way that I did it. If you're able to get their health down to about 60% while they're staggered and then hit them with a fully charged pile bunker, you will actually be able to one-shot them before they're able to heal. Otherwise, they usually heal their mech around 50% HP, so keep that in mind. If you're unable to get the stars to align, they only have 2 heals, so once you get that second heal out of the way, be on the lookout for that stagger to fully charge pile bunker them, and if they are low enough, we'll most likely one-shot them outright. And with that, you have Swinburne down and another S rank for the collection. Chapter 3 Mission 4, Tunnel Sabotage, is one of the more unique missions of this run. It should also be quick and dirty, as the only thing you really need to do is get to the end, destroy the thing, and then get out. There is an extra reward based on the bonus mechs that you destroy, but luckily the Coral Overflow will destroy a lot of them. As such, I am only taking in 2 Zimmerman shotguns and nothing else. The Coral Flood also means that repair costs are fairly lenient for this mission, and time is the only factor, with me finishing this in about 2 minutes flat. The first half of this mission is very straightforward. Go forward and assault boost from objective marker to objective marker, getting through these tunnels as quickly as you possibly can. I would only really stop to fight stuff that is directly in your way, as most of the stuff you should be able to assault boost past no problem without taking any real amounts of damage. I would highly recommend maybe bringing a higher capacity generator, as the beginning of this mission will have you going along some decently long flight paths with your assault boost, but in the second half of the mission you will be having that Coral Flood boosting your energy gains, so that should be less of a problem if you can make it through there. Once you get to the shield, pop inside and quickly destroy it, and then immediately about face over towards the boost platform and GTFO. The only thing that's really going to cause you to not get an S rank on this mission is if you happen to fly into one of the giant plumes of coral. Also, don't forget to keep an eye on your health, as it will be going down drastically as the mission goes on. Just make sure you don't end up bottoming out on accident. It is easy to be focusing on the boost forward and not on that health bar. Feel free to use as many heals as you need, as those don't factor towards your S rank. And that is about it. Once you see the light of day, take it, get out of there, and enjoy the quickest S rank of Chapter 3. Chapter 3 Mission 5, Survey the Uninhabited Floating City, is going to be another mission that takes you on some pretty long assault boost flight paths. You are going to be bouncing from generator to generator, disabling them, as well as a boss that is an aerial boss, so as much boost as possible I would take a high capacity generator for exactly that. And in standard boss fight fashion, dual Zimmermans, a Songbird, and the pile bunker will get the job done. Speed always being of the essence, I finished this mission in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, health being the secondary factor, and with the loadout we brought, ammo should never be a problem. With the entire city being covered in fog, it can be extremely easy to lose your bearings, but I'm going to do my best to explain the route that I take to get this done the quickest. To your right immediately, there will be 2 arching buildings. Go over top of them, and at the end of the one, you should see a flashing beacon. If you see that in a minefield ahead of you, you know you're going on the right path. Go down this alleyway, and you should go up to your first generator, hopefully dodging most of the minefield in the process. Once that scan is complete, there should be a trio of skinny buildings off to your left. Go over top of them and immediately jump forward. If you see this kind of football-shaped building, you will know you are going in the direct direction. And if you keep going forward past that, you should see the second generator on top of this circular dome. You can take the enemies out around here if they get too annoying. I did not. And use the generator to block some of the projectiles. And after that scan is complete, you should see an A-shaped building off to your right. If you assault boost past the left side of that, if you start getting sniped at, that will show that you are going in the correct direction. Move into the buildings on the right side and go past another A-shaped building. If you take the left side of this building, there should be another dome up ahead. Once you get to the dome, make a 90-degree turn to the right, and this should lead you directly to the survey beacon. Be careful about this survey beacon. As soon as the scan finishes on this beacon, you will be ambushed. I would take the assault armor to potentially get off some easy damage and staggers on them whenever they jump you, or you can take the pulse shield to negate some of the damage that comes forward, as they will all hit you at once. The strategy that I used here is double Zimmerman blasting them and then running forward with the pile bunker. You do not need to fully charge it, as the double Zimmermans and a standard pile bunker will be enough to one-shot each of them. As soon as air starts speaking, you are good to go. There should be an elevated road system near where you scan the survey beacon, and if you follow this to the right, it should lead you towards the objective marker before air marks it on your map. Once this scan is complete and Walter starts talking, immediately rush down the main road, as this is the direction that the main boss will be coming at you. This is the attack helicopter from the beginning of the game, but it also comes along with about 4 different snipers in the area. You can either take out the attack helicopter first and then deal with the snipers, or do it in reverse, whichever is easiest for you. I chose to attack the helicopter first. The formula for success is to songbird from the ground, then assault boost up, kick it, and then double Zimmerman blast it in the face. This should be enough to stagger it, at which case you pull out the pile bunker and do a fully charged attack into it with that. Depending on your ability to hit the charged pile bunker, you should be able to clear this boss in 2 to 3 cycles, after which, if you still have these snipers to clean out, go ahead and do that, and then you should have your easy S rank. Congrats. And now we have Chapter 3, Mission 6, Heavy Missile Launch Support. Cinder Carla has a coyote problem and has finally decided to take the nuclear option with solving it. With fireworks being on the menu, I suggest you bring some as well. I suggest bringing the dual 10-cell missile batteries for your shoulders, the biggest bazooka or rocket launcher that you have on one arm, and then the napalm launcher for the other. I also recommend bringing quad legs for maximum aerial superiority. Since this mission is on a timer, time is not a factor here. Neither is repair cost, as you should be hovering above the action, and most of the fire should be directed towards the missiles you're supposed to be defending. And while ammo cost is factored, the biggest contributor to S rank is making sure that all 3 missiles go off, so if one gets destroyed, restart. Immediately when the mission starts, don't waste any time. Assault boost in. The missiles are already under attack at the start of this mission, and even though you cannot see the health bars of these missiles, they will take damage if you don't get these enemies cleared off of them quickly enough. There's also 2 assault turrets that are protecting the missiles along with you, and if you aren't quick enough in this mission, you can get them destroyed before the mission even starts. If one gets destroyed or both of them get destroyed, it's not to worry, as they do not contribute to the S rank. It is strictly the missiles themselves. But if they do get destroyed, I would highly recommend restarting, as it might make the rest of the mission a bit more difficult to manage. As soon as Carlos starts introducing Chatty Stick, go over to the left side and get in hover position. This is where the first group of drop-off helicopters are going to come through, and you can actually pick them off before they even enter the area if you're quick enough. Use your rocket launcher to take out one of them, and then use your twin batteries on the back to lock onto both of the other 2 and take them out quickly. Immediately return to the bridge, and there will be 3 coming through the river on the right side. Use your batteries on the shoulders to take them out as well. After that wave is done, at about the 4-minute mark, the second wave will come in. This is going to come straight up the middle of the bridge, so if you go to the end of the bridge and get to camping, they should be coming through and you can take them out as quickly as they spawn. I actually make a mistake here and do not get enough height on these helicopters for my assault missiles on the back to actually hit the helicopters themselves. They actually hit the soldiers that are loaded up onto them. If you get above these helicopters, they will take them out, and then you can just clean up the rest with your rocket launcher. There will also be 3 ground troops that come up on the left side of the bridge this time. Use your napalm or your shoulder mounts to take them out. Just before the 3-minute mark, another group will come up the right side of the river. Recommend just using your napalm on these. The napalm's area effect actually will one-shot most of the groups if they're stacked up on top of each other. And there will also be a Droideka rolling mech in the middle. Use your napalm to soften them up, and your shoulder batteries to knock them down. If you miss some on the right side, don't worry. They roll up a lot slower than what the mech on the bridge does, so just run back over and take them out as they get hung up on the barricade. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, they send 3 more toy box mechs at you, along with a small group of smaller MTs in the river on the right side. 1 napalm should be enough to take out the small MTs. And then a rocket blast followed by a napalm should be enough to take out each of those toy box mechs. Take out the ones in the river first, as they are going to be the ones that get to the objective first, and then focus on the one on the bridge. You can also use napalm and your shoulder batteries if you prefer, or if your rocket launcher is on cooldown. Fun fact about the napalm, by the way, the fire lingers for so long after you do each of these blasts that even if there's some mechs straggling behind, they'll walk themselves through the flame and destroy themselves. This makes it so that one napalm blast should be able to take out each wave of these mechs that are coming down the river. From here on out, it's just clearing out the mechs as they stroll on in until you get to the warship. And as soon as that warship spawns, beeline up to it. The timer will actually stop as soon as you get this warship destroyed, so prioritize it. There will be some ground troops that are rolling up as you're going up to this, but like I said, as soon as you destroy that warship, the timer goes off and Chatty shoots off the missiles. And after that, sit back, relax, and enjoy some R&D fireworks as your S rank loads. Since Chapter 3 Mission 7 has two different branching pathways, we will consider Eliminate the Enforcement Squad, Mission 7A, and Mission 7B will be coming up next. The more difficult of the two, in my opinion. Eliminate the Enforcement Squad is going to have you dueling quite a bit, so take double Zimmermans, Songbirds, and whatever melee weapon you see fit. Health is going to be your biggest factor, as there's a lot of fighting going on in this one, and my mission time for it was 2 minutes and 46 seconds. It's a fairly quick mission to begin with, but health is definitely going to be the biggest contributor. As soon as you spawn in, beeline it for the left side cliff face. There's a bunch of mechs ahead of you, and while you can fight them in this open section of the snowfield, I find that I took way too much damage doing so and would rather skirt around them to fight the two mid bosses first as they slowly walk in. They will end up coming up and you will have to destroy them eventually, but it's a lot easier to fight them within the buildings than it is out in that field. Speaking of the mid bosses, immediately barrage into them with your double Zimmermans. 2 double Zimmerman blasts for each of them should be enough, and if you can clip one with your Songbird, that'll get the job done even quicker. After that, clean up the mechs one by one as they shuffle in, and then head into the wall. Once you get to the first door, be ready for an ambush. You can either use the assault armor to get real quick damage on all 3 of them, or you can take pulse armor if you think you're going to get hit to negate a little bit of the damage. Either way, destroy them and move on. Once into the next room, you'll see 3 mechs down below, but this is the room where the boss spawns, so take them out as quickly as you possibly can, and be ready for that. The biggest issue with this guy is he's a filthy shield bane that hides behind his pulse shield like his life depends on it. Probably because it does. He does leave himself open whenever he's charging up his laser rifle to get a good quick hit with the Zimmermans or with the Songbird. Other than that, he tends to keep that shield held high and shield bash you anytime you get close. Your assault armor should be off cooldown if you used it at that one door, and this can make this fight a lot quicker if you end up using it. Otherwise, just try to circle around the shield and hit him with the double Zimmermans. And with some quick maneuverability, this boss is defeated and your S rank is granted. And now we move on to 7B of Chapter 3. Destroy the Special Forces craft. This is just a single boss fight, and as such, you bring in that boss fight gear. Twin Zimmermans and a Songbird will round it out, and the pile bunker as your melee will make quick work of this boss. How quick, you might be asking? Well, 1 minute and 24 seconds is what I completed it in, and ammo and health cost should be a non-factor if you follow the strat that I'm about to give you. As the mission loads in, the boss will rush you. The hardest part of this mission is getting the CATAPHRACT, that first stagger, off. This boss design is one of my favorites in the game. It's just a little man manually running a tank forward, and as such, that little man is the weak spot of the boss itself. The best place I've found to stagger is after it does that little hop. Both blasts from the Zimmerman should be enough to stagger it, then promptly switch over to the pile bunker, lay into it, and then switch back to the dual Zimmermans. It should hop away, giving you another opportunity to wash, rinse, repeat the same strategy over and over, and then if it starts charging up for another dash, it has enough time for you to get your Zimmermans back out and blast it again before it can go anywhere. And that is this boss. Once you get that first stagger on, it's just chaining staggers together with fully charged pile bunker blasts. It has a lot of health, but with this strat, it will go down quickly, and that S rank will be yours. Chapter 3 Mission 8 has you attacking the old spaceport with your buddy Rusty, taking out all of those PCA warships. There is a bonus reward for destroying mechs on the battlefield, and we will be keeping that in mind as we go forward. Dual Zimmermans, a Songbird, and a Laser Lance are going to round out this build, along with the assault armor for good measure. Also recommended on taking a high capacity generator, as the long flight paths on this mission are going to require it. One of the longer missions of Chapter 3, this one took me 7 minutes and 16 seconds to complete. Luckily, repair and ammo costs didn't seem to factor too much, it was more bonus objectives and the speed itself. Immediately as the mission starts to jet forward, and there will be one of the more elite LCs up on top of one of these water towers. He should jet at you immediately. This is going to be the first one that you need to take out. There are 3 of these guys, one at each of these space hangars that's kind of in the proximity, and making sure that they are taken care of is going to be the key in making sure that you get that S rank. You'll know you've gotten the right one when the screen kind of does that slow-mo thing after they die. After that, jet over to the first hangar and destroy the first ship. One Songbird blast should get the job done on these guys, but some later will be a little bit more armored. From this hangar, jet up and to the right, and there should be a small window that leads you directly to the next warship. Go ahead and take it out quickly and get ready for your second fight. If you look directly from the back of the destroyed warship, you should see your next LC standing underneath of a small archway. His back to you, so you should be able to get a quick and dirty ambush on him. Open up with the Songbirds and then rush in with the Zimmerman blast, and that should be that. Don't get too comfortable though, as your next LC is directly down below on the next platform. Try to get some quick damage on him, but be ready because there is a ton of smaller MTs around this area that you might need to take out while you're fighting him. Besides the boss fight at the end of the mission, this is the part where you're most likely to take unnecessary damage and possibly ruin your S rank because of it. Once the MTs are handled, a Songbird blast and double Zimmermans should be enough to get the job done, and then you can head over to the final 3 ships. Work your way to the backmost ship and then use the underside of it to block the artillery fire from the side of the ship and take them out one by one. Once again, Songbird shots should be enough to down each one of these, but if you don't want to wait for the cooldown, 2 blasts from the Zimmermans should get the job done as well. The reason we went back to front is because the snowless spot here is where your supply Sherpa is going to spawn, so you can get that resupply. And then as soon as you grab that, go over to the launch pad and head up the tower. There will be an LC at the peak of the jump. Go ahead and take him out as quickly as possible. And then there will be one over to your left as you're jetting across the top of the building. Take him out as well. Each one will be marked with targets, so it's impossible to miss them. At this point, the objective marker will change, and you'll have to go around to the other side of the building to get the last of the reinforcements. There's a flat wall on this other side that you can use to skirt around each of them and get a better angle on them to take them out quickly. After that, more warships will roll into the station, and as tempting as it is to jet out and meet them halfway, they will come directly up to the side of the building, and this will be the quickest and most efficient way to take them out, as it's easy to overshoot them as they're moving forward, you're moving one way, and you just fly directly over top. If you're not confident in your laser dodging, use the underside of the building to dodge these lasers outright, and then as soon as it docks, roll up and take it out. These are the more heavily armored ones, as a Songbird will not be enough to take them out outright, and you will need to also hit them with some Zimmerman shots to finish them off. Jumping from the one, go to the other while dodging the missile fire that is shot at you, and then get ready for your final boss fight of the mission. Rusty will be joining you here, and I recommend letting him take lead on this engagement. He should beeline it for the lieutenant, leaving the captain up to you. This is where the laser lance is going to come into play. If you do a full laser lance charge, that should lead to a full stagger. This man is very similar to the one that you fought in the wall, where he has a giant plasma shield, but he is also much more liberal with his melee weapon usage. Using the laser lance on cooldown to get those juicy staggers off, as well as Zimmerman blasts once the staggers have happened, will get the job done. At that point, it's just you and Rusty double teaming the lieutenant. Wash, rinse, repeat the strat that you used on the captain, maybe with a little bit more Zimmerman and a little bit less laser lance, although it is a good chase down tool if he happens to jet away. And with that, this mission is over, with the exception of the ice worm coming in and destroying the complete complex. But the good news about this is you don't actually have to engage with this mechanic. There's actually an ice shelf that you can jump up on top of, past the wreckage, that you can just watch the ice worm rampage from safety. Enjoy the show, and enjoy your S rank. Chapter 3, Mission 9, Eliminate Honest Brute. I'm going to be real with you guys. This one is a super quick and super easy mission, so we're going to get this show on the road immediately. Take your boss dueling getup with dual Zimmermans, a pile bunker, and a Songbird to get Brute down very, very quickly. Also take assault armor, as it's always a great contingency. I completed this mission in 2 minutes and 48 seconds with the stats that you see on screen. As you can see, taking a decent amount of damage is okay as long as you do this quickly, and if I would have taken a higher capacity generator, I think I could have done this even quicker. From the get-go, immediately start jetting down to the bottom. Nothing in this mission matters outside of killing Brute quickly and efficiently. Heading down the right side slope past these towers will give you the least amount of resistance, although you will still be bumped and bombed a little bit by some of the floating droids in the area. Outside of this initial bomber bot barrage, it really is smooth sailing all the way down to the bottom. I recommend just using your assault boost off cooldown and skirting past every single thing that comes at you. After a long float, you'll come to the first building. This area is shielded, but you do not actually have to engage with any of the enemies within the shield. Just simply go through and go into the building. Bouncing around, there's going to be a ton of lasers, but you should be nimble enough to be able to get around them. Again, don't engage with any of the mechs that are in this building. You simply just need to cut through and get to the boss fight. Boosting up to this hanging scaffold, this will cause Brute to spawn up onto your top left. Do not fight him up here, as he has a better advantage in the air than he does on the ground. Promptly jump down and wait for him to come at you from there. The most annoying thing about this fight is he does use the flamethrower, which is going to do slow but consistent chip damage to you. So being quick and efficient on getting him staggered and dead is the best route. Anytime he goes in for a chainsaw swing, this is the perfect opportunity to either hit him with the Songbirds or the double Zimmermans, and then follow up with a fully charged pile bunker. If you're lucky and you happen to get him staggered when he's around 60% health, you should be able to one-cycle him before he's able to heal with a fully charged pile bunker blast. But if you're like me, he should heal 2 times, and then you should be able to finish him off from there. And with that, you have his S rank. Congrats. Chapter 3, Mission 10, Defend the Old Spaceport. What seems like you're going to be going in and doing a clean-out crew becomes a 1v1 with the person that you took the name from. The 1v1 with Raven is going to be a fun one, and with the fun fight comes a fun build. Right side armaments are a Zimmerman and a Songbird, but the left side is going to be your laser lance and your pile bunker. Taking double melee might seem a bit weird, but the strategy is foolproof. And the proof is in the pudding. This mission was completed in 51 seconds with minimal repair or ammo cost. As the mission starts, jet forward until the cutscene plays, delivering one of the coldest and best lines from the entire Armored Core 6 game.
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
After the chills have subsided, allow Raven to rush you, and then as soon as they get within range, immediately charge up the laser lance and go full in. This should either stagger them outright or make it so that one Zimmerman blast is going to be enough to get the full stagger, at which point you fully charge the pile bunker and drive into them. They most likely will heal off of this, so you'll need to wash, rinse, repeat this a few times, but you could get lucky and one-shot them outright with this combination. We keep the Songbirds on hand for just a little bit of extra chip damage, or if we have a situation where they're just barely not staggered and we need to finish them off that way. Assault armor is also going to be useful here, as it should stagger them outright just from that, at which point you can laser lance into them and most likely finish the job. Congratulations for earning your S rank on borrowed wings. Chapter 3, Mission 11, Historic Data Recovery, is taking you back to the mines that almost engulfed you in Coral before. And just like that mission, we are not going to be taking hardly any weapons and are just going purely off of speed. There is a bonus pay to this mission that requires you to find 3 hidden mechs in this mission while also getting the 3 objectives that you need. I took dual SMGs into this mission, but you could probably complete this mission without any weapons at all. Time and getting those 3 bonus objectives are the only thing that factor here, and I completed this in 2 minutes and 46 seconds. You should be somewhat familiar with the layout of these mines, but I will pinpoint exactly where each one of the things that you need to grab are. After you have dropped down and jetted in, there will be a first room with some MTs. Do not fight them, just completely ignore them and go through, at which point you will get all of your objective markers. The first one is up and to the left, and of course there will be a room full of mechs here. There will also be your first bonus objective right outside of where the first main mission objective is. Grab it quickly, and then jump in behind the generator to grab the objective. Once you've completed that and headed back out to the main tunnel, head down into the left and you should see your second bonus objective ablaze beside 2 crab bots. From here, jet up and to the right, and this should take you up to your second main mission objective. Follow the tunnel and it should lead you directly to it. Luckily, there's a convenient drop spot here that you can use to make a small shortcut towards the third objective, and this will lead you over towards an elevator shaft along with a long drop down to your final main mission objective. Do not go down here yet, and instead go into the elevator shaft where your third bonus objective will be. Grab that, jump up, and then head down into the chasm to get the final mission objective. You can destroy some of the mechs here if you're bored and wanting something to do, but you can also just go past them and hide in behind the wreck machine. They will not be able to get you, and then you can just stay here until the mission closes. And congrats, you got the easiest S rank of Chapter 3. And last but certainly not least, Chapter 3 Mission 12, Destroy Big Ice Worm. This is a 5-man assault on the ice worm itself, and you will need one specific weapon to get this job done. That weapon, of course, being the stun needle launcher. On your right side, you can take any weapon that you feel is going to be able to take out the floating drones in the second phase quickest. I took the revolver, and then on the left side, I took 2 melee weapons, the pile bunker and the chainsaw. I completed this mission in 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and this is honestly the biggest contributor to the S rank along with the health that you have left. It should be fairly difficult for you to take damage that doesn't outright kill you in this fight, but try to keep your health as low as possible and make those stun needle launcher shots count, as they can drag the time down. From the start of the battle, the first objective you need to do is get in position to hit it with the first needle. It always does this upright attack immediately during the fight once everybody gets over to it, and this is the prime opportunity to get that first strike off. If you do this quickly enough, then just prepare and get ready for Rusty to fire off the cannon. If you stand yourself where I'm at, looking directly where Rusty's cannon is going to be, the worm will always spawn in front of you so that when Rusty blasts it, it will fall down directly in front of you, making it a quicker time to get over to it and actually do damage. Once Rusty doesn't miss, run over and hit it with a fully charged pile bunker. This will clear it from phase 1. Upon the start of phase 2, the worm will run away and leave a bunch of small drones in its wake for you and your companions to take care of. You can honestly let them clean this up, but that might take a little bit, so that's why I suggested taking a smaller arms right-hand weapon to kind of pick them off one by one as they come through. Once you clean out the rabble, the worm should make its grand reappearance by going directly up in front of you and trying to smash down on top of you. This is a prime time to hit that stun needle launcher right on its nose, and then dodge out of the way before it crashes down on top of you. This will be a one-shot if it hits. But after all this is said and done, get in the same position and wait for Rusty to hit that second shot, and then run in and pile bunker it again. Phase 2 down. For phase 3, it is just you and the worm. All of your companions have run their course and will not be helping out anymore. The worm now has a big AoE attack that is very well telegraphed, but also does not leave it vulnerable while it's happening. The best times that I've found to actually hit it is whenever it tries to do that smash attack that it tried to do in phase 2, or whenever it is snaking on the ground, it'll hesitate before it does a charge at you. This is another good opportunity to hit that head. If you do happen to miss some stun needle shots here, it is not the end of the world, and ammo count is not going to be what causes you to lose the S rank on this mission. It will more likely be the time. But if you are quick enough with your shots, you should be able to get these 2 shots off easily enough, and then it's just waiting for Rusty to hit that final shot. Once he does, it is an all or nothing moment to get enough damage to finish the worm off. Immediately go in and do a fully charged pile bunker, switch over to your chainsaw and do a fully charged chainsaw swipe, and then another fully charged pile bunker should get the job done. And with that, you have finished the final mission of Chapter 3 S-Ranked and completed the entire chapter S-Ranked. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be doing all of the Armored Core missions S-Ranked at some point, so stick around for that. And if you're into FromSoftware or more Souls-like games, we'll be doing more of those in the future as well, so definitely be around for those. But until next time, Tenna Crew, much love. Thank you. Bye-bye.